Yo, what's up guys? So today I'm going to teach you a really nice sandwich trick, and now I teach them all the time, but this one is a little bit different. This trick is called King Trap Sandwich by Larry Jennings. Now the only thing I did to it, I didn't change the handling, I just changed the presentation. I put sort of a do as I do spin on it, and I've never really seen that in a sandwich trick. So it's kind of fun to do as impromptu, and I think you'll like it. So let's get into it. Alright, so for this, I want to find a card, alright? But I want it to be sort of a challenge, alright? So what I want you to do is take the deck and cut it anywhere you'd like and put them on the table, alright? So look at the card that you cut to. I won't look, alright? Put it on top of there, and then get the rest of shuffle so nobody could have a key card or nothing less silly like that, alright? So cut the deck maybe once more like that, and perfect, alright? So think about this. You cut anywhere, looked at a card that I couldn't possibly know, bury it into the deck, shuffle it, and cut again. There is no way I could possibly know what or where that card is, alright? So I like a good challenge, alright? So what I'll do is to maybe make it easier for me, I'll take out a couple of cards to help me find this card, hopefully, alright? So there's a red king. Let me get one more red king right there. Alright, so what I'll do is just like you did, I'll cut these kings into the deck and I'll give it maybe one, maybe two, three cuts, and you shuffled, so I'll do the same exact thing, alright? So give it a shuffle, and sometimes whenever I cut and shuffle, one card gets in between two more cards, right? So in this case, we have two kings. Hopefully, with those cut and shuffled, one card may be slipped in between those two kings. Now, since we did the same exact thing, maybe your same exact card is in between those kings. Let's take a look. Did we get lucky? Here we go. Two kings face up in the middle with the one card in between, face down. For the first time, what was your card? The Jack of Spades. And that, my friends, is luck. Alright, so for this trick, all you need to do is have a key card, and there's one move called the triple double undercut combo by Larry Jennings, and that's how you do the trick. Thanks for watching. I'm just joking. I guess I'll teach you the trick. Guess I gotta do my job. Alright, so here we go. What you want to do is get two I like it cards. I like to use the kings, but you can use whatever you like. Jokers, blank cards, deuces, anything you want. So you want to have one of the red kings on top of the deck, and another king you want to put it maybe a quarter down in the deck, just like this, maybe 15 or 13 or so cards down in the deck. Alright, so that's your starting position. Now what you want to do is, I mean, you can follow my presentation if you want to, but I'll just teach you the handling without all the presentation, all right? So what you want to happen is you want to give the deck to the spectator and instruct them to cut about half the deck down at the table, just like this. And look at the card they cut to, so you want to indicate the top card of the packet they're holding, all right? So they take a look at that card. In this case, we look at the five of hearts, all right? So now you want to have them put it down on top of the tabled packet like this. Now the cards you're holding, you want to ask them to shuffle it, all right? So this does nothing, but it's sort of a callback later when you do the same exact thing, shuffle the deck, all right? So just have them give them a mix. Does nothing, but also maybe makes it seem more, impossible since they shuffled part of the deck. But like I said, anytime you can slip in something like this that makes no difference, do it. I mean, why not? All right, so they shuffle the packet. Now you want to instruct them to cut about half of these and put them on there. Now the work is already done because their card is on top of your key card, which is a king. All right, so you have them cut about half the deck to the table. Maybe have them shuffle these two if they want to. Doesn't really matter. Then put their rest back on top. All of that doesn't matter. All that is important is that their card is on top of that red king. All right, so at this point, you take the deck and say, look, it would be impossible for me to find your card. You cut like through time and shuffle the deck. And then to make it easier for myself, I'll just take out a couple of cards to use, all right? So what you're going to do is just look through the deck, face it toward yourself, obviously, all right? So you want to look for the first red king. And this first red king you come to won't have a key card by it, all right? So this is just the first one. Now the second card, the second red king will have their card right on top of it, all right? So you spread them through, you locate that king, all right? So you see it. Now you want to put that down like this, bring it away at the top of this packet as you put it down, but as you come up, don't replace these on top, you put them in the back, so their card becomes the card on the bottom of the deck and you replace the cards, all right? So that's how you get that done. Now at this point you say, look, I'll take the kings, and since you cut the deck 3 times or whatever, I will cut the kings into the deck about 3 times, all right? So what you're going to do is as you're putting the kings on, you just keep a break in between them with your pinky like this, all right? So what's going to happen now is that the combination cut I was talking about, All this does is sort of transpose the top and bottom cards. That way we have a sandwich, all right? So this is how you do it. All right, so I think this is the best angle to show you this, all right? So what's going to happen, you have your break in between the face-up kings, and like a double undercut, you just cut off about half the cards from the bottom. But as you do that, as you put it back on like normal, what's going to happen is you do a block pushover of all the cards besides that bottom card, all right? So you see that bottom card being angled out like this as you do that, all right? So it's very easy to do. It's just with friction with the base of your index finger there, and you're pushing over all these cards to the side like this. That way that bottom card becomes angle jog like this, all right? So but that's hidden under your thumb, all right? So you're like this. It's very easy. Just practice that for a minute if you need to, just to get acquainted with the move, and you'll have that down in no time, all right? So from there, you have your pinky break. Cut about half the cards from the bottom like a double undercut. Do that push off move. Now what's going to happen is as you place these back on top, you keep the break with your thumb, all right? So that's being on top. Since you have that pinky break with your thumb, you just slide everything out, all right? And that face-up king that you had the break under is going to come with that top packet on the bottom as you move away. All right, so like I said, the top and bottom cards transpose. That becomes a top card on that, and that becomes a bottom card on that. I know it sounds confusing, but just follow my moves and you'll get it in no time, all right? So you put this on the bottom, and then you just cut one more time, all right? So that results in a sandwich in the middle of the deck. I'll do that one more time slowly so you can really get it. I'm sorry. All right, so over here we have both kings on top face up with our pinky break in between them. Now as you come down to approach the deck in middle grip, your thumb just takes over the break. So you have a thumb break now, all right? So like I said, you break off about half the deck from the bottom, shove, do that block pushover move like I talked about, all right? So you do that. As you replace these on top, keeping that thumb break now between the two halves, so you're like this now in this position, you just clamp that angle jog card to the top of this lower packet, and then you just move away. And since you have that thumb break, that face up king will move away underneath this packet here, which you put on the bottom of the deck. Now we're in this position here where the chosen card is on top of that face up king, other face up king is on bottom. In the same motion, you just cut the deck one more time like a double undercut action like that, and that results in a sandwich, all right? So kind of a complicated thing to explain, but I think me showing you twice, I think you'll really understand it and get it. If not, just watch it maybe 3 or 4 times in a row and you'll get it eventually, I promise. And don't worry about trying to make this move look, you know, crisp and clean and pristine. That's because it's probably not going to happen. I mean, even I do it sloppy. And the thing about that, it doesn't really matter because all you're doing is sort of mixing the deck, cutting face-up kings into the deck. So even if a face-up king slides out or a card juts out, it doesn't really matter, right? So don't really worry about that too much. So I'll do it at full speed so you can kind of see what I'm talking about because even I do it sloppy. Alright, so here we are. We have 2 face-up kings. I'll just do the move really quick for you. Just like this. And see, like I said, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't matter that you saw that sloppiness because you don't know what to look for and you don't know what to expect. Now, if you don't like this move, or if you find that you're not really getting this move down, or if you're uncomfortable with it, that's totally fine. There is alternative things you can do. Just have the selected card on top and do just the standard sandwich load, where you just load them in between like this, and then you can just say that you'll cut the kings in between. All I gotta do is cut small packets from the bottom. That's 1 small packet, 2 small packet, and you're in the same position. But at the end of the day, I do encourage you to learn this move because, you know, it is a new move to have under your belt, and there are a lot of things you can do with it. If you want to know about more things, just let me know. Alright, now once you have the sandwich in the middle of the deck, after those 3 cuts, you're going to say, now I cut the deck 3 times, but you also shuffled, alright? So I'll give the deck a shuffle as well. Now what you're going to do is to maintain the central position of the cards, you're going to chop off a small block from the top, a big block right there, and then throw the rest on top, all right? So the overhand shuffle did nothing but keep those cards in the middle, all right? So once again, you can just do a few cards like this, or maybe just 1 block. All right, makes no difference, all right? So it's small, big, small. That's all you need to know. And that keeps the fractal cards in the middle of the deck. All right, so you do your shuffle, and you say, look, sometimes whenever I cut and shuffle the deck, 1 card gets in between 2 cards, in this case hopefully the kings, and since we did the same exact thing, maybe your same card got in between those kings, by accident, or maybe by luck. So now you just spread the deck on the table and see, let's take a look if we got lucky. Oh look, there is one face down card in between the kings. What card did you pick? The 5 of hearts. Let's take a look. Ah, that is lucky. Alright guys, so as always, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you got some value out of it, if you learned something new, do me a huge favor, hit the like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.